Altcoin reckoning. It's crazy how in crypto you can wake up and something can be amazing and all of a sudden something happens really quick. But what's quite crazy to see, you see that Bitcoin only came down around 1%. And now we have the altcoins, some of them hitting double digits to the downside for the day. We've seen a massive spike in dominance. And now we're going to be speaking about what is happening to altcoins. You know, we actually spoke with 𝗵𝗃𝗧. I know Ron had the show with 𝗵𝗃𝗧, and he said that for the next 3 to 6 months, expect that a lot of money is going to flow into Bitcoin when it comes to altcoins. Expect that dominance to go up to 60%, which is quite crazy because the last bull market that we did see, or before the bull market, we did have this rampage in dominance for a year. And that was the last time we were at the areas of 60%. And I think that's a big thing we've been waiting for to see, like, is there still this massive depression phase coming? But when you look at this and you see a 1% candle from Bitcoin and you see altcoins doing this, it feels terrible. Like, what's going on? So guys, today we're going to be focusing on what is happening with Bitcoin at the moment. It's sitting now at 29,000. Is it going to still go to 27 or 28,500? We're going to speak about the possible levels of where Bitcoin could still continue to the downside. And what the hell is going to happen to altcoins if that happens? Are we going to have this dominant spiking? Like, why are we having all of a sudden just this big in the last 24 hours money shifting from Bitcoin straight into altcoins? It's very clear that right now we don't have new money entering the market. We just have money shifting within the market at the moment. So we're going to be speaking about that. And obviously we're going to be speaking about the different levels of altcoins, things as in Doge, things as in 𝗵𝗃, things as in Solana, many of these different tokens. We're going to put on a little bit of our long-term hats today as well. Because again, short time frame, this sucks. It's annoying. It feels depressing, right? It definitely feels depressing. But again, we have to focus on when we are becoming long-term investors, when we are traders. As a trader today, you are irritated and pissed off. As a long-term investor, you're looking at this big dip off, and you're looking at the high time frames, and you'd be like, is this going to be insane entries for the bull market? Is this going to be something that I can accumulate now in these areas? And I may not make money today or tomorrow, but over the next 2 years, I can end up making a lot of cash. Plus, I have two incredible guests that are going to be joining. We have Crypto Kid and we have Davinci joining as well, speaking about Bitcoin, speaking about what's happening right now. I know it's a red day, guys, but I'm here to pump us up. I'm annoyed too. I get it. But again, red creates opportunity. Let's focus. Let's stay level-headed and let's make magic happen. No more wasting time. Let's get into the show.
Click. Have you heard the news? What? With his finger on the pulse, it's like Sheldon knew. Click. When the sniper shoots, we got Sheldon on the charts, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter 𝗵𝗃𝗧. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. So enter the sniper, click. Time to be dedicated, sniper mode is activated. Explosions in the market are in target, and Sheldon demonstrates. Mirror on the wall, Master Sheldon tell us all. We got Sheldon on the chart, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter 𝗵𝗃𝗧. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. Enter the sniper, click. Enter the sniper.
Yo, Banter fam, what's happening? Nice red day. I know it sucks, but I'm here to say let's keep going. We've been through way worse, guys. We've been through a $69,000 Bitcoin to a $16,000 Bitcoin. We've seen 95% down within alts, and I get it. You know, it's this last little squeeze out phase, and it all comes down to the mental game. You got to know that firstly, you go through the big pull down, and it basically drains us, and you have a lot of this like, stay strong, we're going to get through it. And then what it gets to the sideways depression phase, where all of a sudden you make money for 1 week, and the next 2 weeks you lose it all. And then you make money, and it's this like choppiness at this point. And having all the money very focused around Bitcoin, making it really hard for altcoins at this point. But what you got to get is what you got to understand is we are getting to the emotional cycle of this depression phase. It's the last line of quitting. It's the last point of it. You know what? Oh, you've stayed for 2 years. You survived the last bull market. You think you're going to do well. We're just going to pour a lot more lemon into your eyes, and let's see if you can take the last bit of pain. But again, you have to sit at this point. Guys who get through this level are the ones that thrive in the bull. This is the point where it's going to try get everything in your power to get you to stop in crypto. Therefore, what happens is you lose interest, you stop completely, you think that it's a complete scam. All of a sudden, markets are up 30, 40, 50% in 1 week. You come back, you buy the highs, and they rinse you out yet again. It's part of the cycle. So I know, guys, it sucks. I'm annoyed. Every single trade I'm taking in the comp and these sort of things just getting stopped out. I'm very happy today, though, that I can get entries, you know, 5 to 7% cheaper than what I got yesterday. So remember, this is sponsored by ByBit. It is the whale room. So you have one more day to register for the competition. At the moment, still just sitting, sort of hovering at the moment, getting stopped, making some money, not getting any crazy big moves to the upside. So I'm shifting my strategy slightly to just quicker trades. Let's see how it goes for the next day or two. So make sure you go below and you join our Discord, where we have the competition group over there. And you remember, if you're in the competition, you get a private Discord entry. And then I'm going to be showing you the different little trades that I'm going to be taking at the moment to try change the strategy a bit, because I'm holding and they're just coming and stopping and stopping and stopping. So we're going to be shifting that. So go below and join. If you don't have a ByBit account, go below, open a Sniper School ByBit account, because you can join Sniper School with that link. Okay, let's quickly get a view of Bitcoin. Not much happening on Bitcoin. Not a crazy dump on Bitcoin yesterday. It had a little bit of a red candle, maybe 1%, you know, anything like that. Nothing absolutely major at this point. Obviously, the big movement came within altcoins. So a quick update on Bitcoin is, as things stand, we're still holding the original support. So you can see over here, I got two major support zones. I have the 28,500 and I have the 27,300 level. At the moment, we're still holding this one pretty strong. But what you also got to pay attention to over here is we have this trend line in play, basically tracking the momentum of Bitcoin at this point, not predicting where it's going to go, more or less tracking what it is. And it's basically still showing that at this point, there is still a little bit of choppiness until we might get a big decision. Now, the one that's obviously making me very nervous is this one over here, is the possibilities of us maybe losing this support and coming down to the lower areas, especially if dominance is going very strong to the upside, because that could be quite deadly when it comes for altcoins. So we got to pay attention to this. So what I'm basically looking at is the previous lows. You could see over here, we have gotten some sort of interest in Bitcoin over the last 3 times we've attempted this level. We've come here to the levels of the 28.9. We came to the 28.5, and we have formed some sort of decent reversal candles at the moment. So the only issue that we're getting is we're not really breaking through this top band over here, which is around about the 30,300. This is where a lot of shorters, a lot of bears are holding the level down. And think about it. This was previously support. So it was a level that the bulls were holding for a good period of time. We eventually lost that level, and now the bears are keeping really strong, which gives us 2 basic understandings. It gives us the understanding that there's going to be a lot of pressure to the downside. It's going to put this line over here at a major test for all the bulls that are trying to hold these major levels over here. Because as long as we stay down here, we'll stay below this range, is the more times we're going to attempt this. And basically what you have at the moment is you have price action doing this, and you have 2 teams. You have the bears and you have the bulls. And at some point, one of these teams or one of these lines are going to break. Yes, we do have a little bit of redness for the day, but as long as we do stay above this support, there is a possibility of Bitcoin breaking through those areas. And what we focused on here is any test here and we keep holding, you know, there's still some sort of possible bullishness. Now, why it's so important, guys, that we do hold these levels, I'll speak about it now in a sec, is if you go to this chart over here and I show you a weekly trend, this for me is the trend that's been running Bitcoin for this year, right? It's been tracking the momentum to the upside. So if we do lose that level, the shorter time frame level that I just showed you guys now, it's very likely we're going to go test the very important bull line, or the momentum line of 2023 for Bitcoin. And that's a big one we don't want to lose. Now, if we did have to lose it, it basically is going to show us a very replica thing of what happened to the time of the 2019 bear rally, where we did have this strong downside, we did have a bit of bear, and then we had this bear rally, right? So the upside, and then we entered depression. And, you know, you look at the Wall Street cheat sheets, you look at these things, it doesn't copy the exact cheat sheet, but it does match the emotions of what's happening. And again, you've been through massive pain, but at some point when you see meme coins, you see 𝗕𝗶𝗄 run, you see these things, people still actually have money. So why they go through these depression phases is to rinse out the complete tourists when it comes to people that are in crypto just for the money, that don't really believe in it or are patient or these sort of things. And this rinses out all of the retail, not the retail, the scammy projects, you know, all the proper projects that are here just for the money, you know, or all the quality. All the fakeness will be removed in the stage over here. So maybe there is that possibility of this downside over here, because we did have this bear rally of Bitcoin going to 13,000 and it came all the way back down to around 5,000-6,000 on those wicks. And this was during COVID in that time. So what we want to pay attention to is when we had that rally, you see that very important trend line, that one over there. Very important, because when we lost that trend is when it started this depression phase. So we just want to make sure, I don't know if it's going to repeat the exact same sort of style. And I got some guys I want to chat to about this now in a sec, but we don't want to lose this trend line. So going back to this basic little trend over here and looking at it, we basically want to see that as long as we can hold this area, we won't go put major test or major, pressure on that major support trend at the moment. And then what you're going to pay attention to is if we do hold this 28,500 and it does get sideways, it does get choppy for a little while over here, and we do decide to break the possible trend. If we can finally get through this level over here, where a lot of the bears are holding, I think there's a massive squeeze that we can get through this level over here. I really do. I think that this level is not as strong as what it used to be. I think all the bears that were here have all moved here. And I think if we get through that area, we can start to accelerate. But what we got to pay attention to now is there is this trend line saying that there is a little bit more time. So you have a few more days to see how this plays out. Now I need to put on your thinking caps. I need to start putting on your hats now to say, okay, I need to start thinking a little bit of investments, not just trading. The day trading right now, getting quite tough. You know, any swing trading, it is getting tough. At some point, this market's going to give direction, and that's going to change. It's going to become a lot easier to flow and trade with the market. It is this choppiness that gets really hard to trade, a lot of stop losses, all these sort of things. And I said this yesterday. If you are trading and you are struggling right now, take a small breather, but don't stop trading. And what I mean by that is just jump to a very small account to $20 and just keep warm. Keep warm, keep warm, keep warm. Don't tire yourself out in a market that is choppy. And then when it finally gives you money, you tire it out and you're not making the money. That's one of the biggest tricks that crypto does to you. It tires you out in the choppiness. And then when the market moves, you're already exhausted and half your money's or 70% of your money's already gone. So I would still say very much invested, because you know at some point one of these lines are going to break and you're going to start to get the move at any single moment. I'm going to speak out one more thing, and then I'm going to bring on Crypto Kid. I'm excited to see 16 years old. I'm very excited to hear what's happening over there. So one thing that was a big problem yesterday was the spike in dominance. It came very quickly. I don't know if you guys noticed on the smaller time frames, it just exploded. So as soon as that little dump happened yesterday, we got this massive candle in Bitcoin dominance. So I don't know what happened over there, but it definitely gave us a trigger on the higher time frames that it looks like the dominance is going to rampage to the upside again at the moment. And I think if it's a bullish or bearish Bitcoin, I think dominance is going to continue to the upside. Obviously, if Bitcoin goes bearish and this continues down, you could be looking at another 15-20% down within alts. So we're going to speak about a lot of different levels. I'll get Dill on here just now. But as you look over here, you can definitely see trends broken over here. And this is starting to move to the upside. So definitely market's sort of going into safety phase. Whenever there's a big test for Bitcoin, you know, and it's a big level where it's going to lose it, like everything just shifts to Bitcoin, which maybe gives me a little bit of a feel of Bitcoin might hold that actual support. But, you know, let's not hear it from me. Let's chat to Crypto Kid over here. What's happening, brother?
What's up, man? So nice to be on the stream, man. All good. Yeah, it's awesome. It's the summer vibes. You know, usually in the previous cycles, right, Bitcoin, it had momentum. You know, in the summer, we were keeping busy, but now I'm even struggling to make content because it's just the same deal. And we're just all waiting for that massive break on Bitcoin, and we're just preparing. That's what's happening.
No, I agree. And I think, you know, as content creators, I think we literally here to keep the audience involved and to stay in crypto. Like, that's the main thing. It's hard as shit. I don't think anyone's making crazy money right now. There's nothing really happening, but it's so important not to quit at the end of the road. Like, you cannot. We've been through 2-3 years of downside now. To quit now is like, it's insane. It's like you're right there at the door of breaking through to this beautiful life.
Exactly.
And the bull will reward those that are there. So, bro, you're 16 years old. Like maybe
Yeah,
give
I
a quick
know.
little intro of yourself. Like, how did you get to Bitcoin? Like, what's happening, bro? 16.
I'm looking at the chat
Incredible.
right now, and people don't believe I'm 16. I know it's look, this is crazy genetics. I'm lucky. I was blessed with these genes, but you know, a year ago, check my YouTube channel, Crypto Kid. You'll see me without a beard. I look like a baby. But yeah, I jumped into crypto when I was 12 years old, and you know, as a young guy, I was very interested in finance and, you know, entrepreneurship. I had a couple of my own businesses when I was like, you know, 8, 9. I had a sneaker business and, you know, car washing, etc. All these small things that you can think of. And when I was 12, and I did like 8 years of musical theater, by the way, so I love being on screen and being in front of an audience. So when I was 12 and it was the pandemic, I was kind of stuck because I couldn't do musical theater, and I wanted to find something to do, something to occupy my time with. And I came across crypto because I was in search for how do people make so much money from trading stocks. And when I was searching that, I came across a Real Vision TV video saying that Ethereum will hit $1 million by the end of this year. Well, that didn't happen, but it did hook my attention. So I watched that video and I was immediately very hooked. And for the next couple of 6 months or so, every day after school, I came in and I studied about Bitcoin and crypto, what it's about. And then I learned technical analysis. And living in Dubai, I actually met 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗧, Davinci, Carl, and all these guys. And 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗧 is actually, massive shout out to 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗧. He gave me a lot of his technical analysis stuff. So again, I just kept on educating myself, and I started my crypto channel in 2021. And yeah, that's background on me.
And that's it. And I live, breathe, and eat crypto, even though there's not much to eat right now.
Exactly.
Amazing, brother. So I think there's a few big things. I would love to get your idea on what you think Bitcoin's at right now. Not only price-wise, but also psychological-wise. Where do you think it is in the market and the cycle at the moment? And then we definitely got to speak about stock markets, because for me, it's like if this depression phase or you know, there's a little bit more downside within Bitcoin in this year before we possibly go into halving. Do you think that the stock market is unhealthy right now, and there's a possible big correction that could maybe give us that phase? You know, is there still a 20k Bitcoin, is still an 18k Bitcoin possibility before up? You know what I mean? It's like, it's about looking at the catalyst just to be like, what if? It's not about predicting, it's about being prepared for scenarios that play out.
Exactly.
So I'd love to know. So I think let's maybe start off with Bitcoin. I don't know if you want to share your we got
sure.
Davinci in the house.
Hey,
Davinci, how's it going?
Uncle Davinci. Hey.
What's happening? How are you, brother?
All right, you know how I do. I'm in the 5x5.
Staying alive here in Dubai.
Hey.
Yeah.
Where's the ring?
Oh man, you know I took it off. Damn, I should have left it on.
What?
Yes. Yeah, because I went to Carl's moon base, and then I came home and I took it off, and then I ran into the show. So anyways,
I gotta get my ass to Dubai. I gotta get my ass to Dubai.
I can have my assistant bring my ring in. Hang on, she can bring it.
Full on Godfather style. My assistant bringing my ring.
Okay, brother. Do you want to bring up a chart? Let's see what you're thinking, and then I'm gonna pop the questions onto Davinci.
Sure, awesome. So I'm more of a swing trader. I'm more of a macro analyst, of course. In my personal videos, I do jump into more smaller time frames. However, in a market like this, the only thing that we can do, which is accurate in my opinion, is more macro analysis, especially on the weekly time frame. So I prepared this little chart for you guys for the stream. I have this on my videos as well, but I just, edited it a little bit so it fits to our current time. So this is the weekly chart for Bitcoin. And the first thing that I want to talk about is this uptrend. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through it one by one. So I want to get rid of everything, right? Clear it all up. That was a little bit of a teaser. And I just want to jump through it one by one. Okay, so the first thing that we can see is we're clearly on an uptrend on the weekly time frame, which is perfect because a weekly uptrend, that's good, right? Even though we're in a bear market, if we zoom in a little bit more, we can see that the price is trending towards the upside and the trend is your friend. So if you are a bullish guy in crypto, if you're a Bitcoin bull, then this is good, right? Because in a place where there's not much mainstream media traction, not much institutional investment going on, this is very good in my opinion. So that's the first thing that I want to discuss. Now, the next thing that I want to bring up is our support and resistance lines, right? Bitcoin is at a very, very, I can't stress this enough. The level that we're at is incredibly critical. So as you can see from this red range over here, Bitcoin has come down to these levels multiple amount of times. Let me circle every single one of them. So we came down here and found massive resistance back in the 25th of January 2021. And we found resistance here. We catapulted towards the upside. That was when we made a high of around, how much was it? $64,000. So that resistance took us all the way up to, well, sorry, not resistance, support took us all the way up to $64,000. Then this was summer, I believe, right over here. Yeah, it was July, August. And we came and tested this level of resistance once again. And this was the small bear market that we had, right? And this level of support, again, support, not resistance, took us all the way to our all-time high at $69,000, right? Which was phenomenal. That was when everybody was happy, when everyone was making a lot of money. Those were the good days, right? But after that time, you know, things went south, right? Things went very south. So we came down, right? We had a little bit of a relief rally here, got everybody's hopes up again. Oh, we're entering another bull market. And
buy the dip, baby.
Buy the dip. Bitcoin gonna go up, and you know, no, that's not what happened. The market tricked us, and we came immediately down back to this level once again. However, the thing that was very unfortunate was instead of finding support here, we broke down, and we broke all the way down to $15,400, ladies and gentlemen, and that was very, very devastating. So now what's happening is Bitcoin got over that very bearish phase. This was where everyone was like, oh, Bitcoin 12K, me included. I'm not going to lie. I did fall for that psychology, ladies and gentlemen. When we were here, I was like, oh, Bitcoin to 12K for sure. But again, usually
we can blame 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗃 for that one.
Yeah, exactly. 𝗕𝗬𝗃, yeah,
taking over.
𝗕𝗬𝗃 is capitulation every day. He's like Bitcoin to zero every day. So you know,
he did well. He did well, but he just needed to take it similar to Plan B in the bull.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
they just had to like slightly adjust their strategy at some point, but they stuck very like. That's the thing. At some point in crypto, you're gonna be wrong, and that's the thing. It's like it's you got to learn to adjust with it. Okay. Yeah. Ever since then, we haven't been able to get back. I like to look at that level, that red box, as bull bear. Like that's the bull market, bear market, like just the content, just that. I think it's a major zone. We haven't been able to get through that. Okay,
100%. I agree. Like, yeah, this level is so important. It's a make or break zone, and a level that's even more important for me in terms of a swing trader. Right, I'm looking at these two levels. Number one, the $31,000 level. So if we break that $31,000 level with confirmation on the weekly candle and with proper volume, then my target is $40,700, because that is just so phenomenally important. We've come down to that level. We've tested it. If we break it with volume, confirmation on the weekly, it's done, in my opinion. So that is the point where I'm looking to open a massive full-fledged long position. However, the scenario could also be very bearish. And for that, right, I believe the $27,900, the $28,400, you know, that range over there is incredibly important support. And the reason why I have a green arrow here instead of a blue one is where I'm predicting the next low for higher low for Bitcoin could be. And at that point, I'm not going to short. I'm going to go in and actually buy up more Bitcoin because I believe it's very good fundamental support. But if we break down, that's the point where I'm going to close everything and switch bearish, because that's going to be very unfortunate. So where are you
bearish to if that happens? Do you think
new
lows? Do you think you know, because it's a big thing to sell your crypto. It's a big thing. I think it's a lot of thing that people have been making the mistake over the last thing is they get very terrified and they just let go of their Bitcoin. And then they come too late to take it back. You know what I mean? So if you're ever gonna make a decision to get out of your crypto, you got to have a serious conviction or serious understanding of where you're getting it back, right? And I'd actually love to get Davinci's opinion on this. Of letting go of your Bitcoin, bro. Like
Davinci's never gonna let go of his Bitcoin. He's got Bitcoin since 67 cents. My man's not gonna let go. And you know,
diamond hands, man. Diamond hands.
See, diamond hands. But Davinci, to add this back to you, Davinci, do you think that's one of the biggest mistakes that people are making? Like they need to change that mindset of just throwing away their Bitcoin. Like they get terrified so quickly of anything, and it can be what they watch, it can be these sort of things. Like, what do you think is the importance of stop throwing away your crypto, even though it may go through some downside cycles and things like that? It actually defeats you at the end, right? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, most people just get greedy and they think, well, I could time the market, I can sell it now and buy it back later, and that's the problem, right? Let's just say you're right. You sell it now, and Bitcoin goes to 20K, which is a possibility. Are you going to be buying at 20K?
You're
Right?
probably going to
Very
say
valid.
12.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Probably gonna say 12. That's the
Exactly.
problem.
So that's the problem. You have to be right twice.
very
No,
true.
no, it's very
So
true. It's
good
very
luck
true.
with
It's the
that, right? On the market.
So would you say to people like stop throwing it away? Like we are our own worst enemies, right? We're the ones that are, you're gonna have news, you're gonna have things. Like you even may hear the stock market may come down at any moment, maybe a 15,
Exactly.
20% if we don't start growing. Like just stop getting rid of your crypto, right? I think that's just one thing I wanted to hear from you, because I know you've been in for a very long time. And you haven't been letting go of your Bitcoin. And what does that create over? It may not create big difference in the short period, but over the long period, it plays a huge difference, right?
Exactly. And I mean, I have sold some Bitcoin over the times, right? Because I started I reversed my my buying as early as like when we were just over $1,300 Bitcoin. But I had a lot of Bitcoin accumulated from the lower levels. Like,
So what
even at
was your first buy? How much? First buy?
well, it was
ever?
67.
67.
crazy, right?
Sorry, we lost your sound. 67 cents.
Yeah. 67 cents was my lowest level. And actually, you know what? Actually, that's not really true, because back then
You were
there was
mining.
faucets.
You weren't. Yeah.
There was faucets where you could just put in your address and they'd send you a couple Bitcoin.
He told me.
Right?
He
Oh,
told me this
really?
crazy thing
Yeah.
that they had
Yeah.
captchas, right? That if you filled out captchas, they'd reward you with
Yes,
Bitcoin,
exactly.
right?
Yes,
Oh my
exactly.
God.
Yeah,
That's
free
insane.
Bitcoin.
And what was that feeling when it went to $100? When it went to like, where were you at? Like, did you see the potential of this thing becoming $30,000-$50,000 at that time?
Yeah.
Like, where was your
I
head
thought,
at?
I thought, well, no, this thing's gonna pass gold, right? Eventually. And
Ooh,
people
from
thought I
those
was
days?
crazy. Yeah.
Really? Oh,
Yes, I
wow.
was 100% convinced it was going to pass gold. That was an easy call, right? Because, I mean, when you think about it, there's 21 million, and there's more millionaires than 21 million. So, hello, an easy call of saying past gold, which was at the time $1,200, was like basic, right? Basic, obvious
That's
thing to
insane.
happen. So. Well, whilst when it was at when it got to $100, and when it got to 1,300, and then it fell back to around $200, from stayed in the $200 to $300 range, a lot of people were like giving up on it, thought it was useless, it's not going to go anywhere, and I knew it was going to go back above gold and to like $5,000, $10,000, but I didn't see the 20K. The 20K push was something else, which was, I think it was supported by the banksters, because they were only got in probably, like, for example, JP Morgan. Remember when JP Morgan was saying, hey, if anybody buys Bitcoin in my company, they'll be fired. That was at 5K, and that's when JP Morgan was buying hand over fist, right? So they started at 5K, right? And so obviously they had to like get a little bit of that action there, and it's not illegal for them to hate something and buy it at the same time, so that they can get away with that.
And what stopped you from saying, I'm done? I've made this money. It's here at this level. Like, I'm done. Like, what kept the conviction? Like, what kept the conviction? Is it the financial system? I think it's just about, again, there's a massive red day today. People are feeling extremely demotivated at this point. And I think you're just one of the most brilliant success stories of staying in the game, right?
Yeah, because what kept me motivated is because I knew that, one, I know absolutely that it's going to be the money. Two, when I was started off into the investing and getting out of our current financial system completely, because honestly, my life had changed or turned around in 2007, 2008, when when Ron Paul said our financial system is a fraud, it transfers wealth from the poor and the middle class to the rich. I didn't know what he was talking about. I found out that our Federal Reserve System is the biggest fraud perpetrated on mankind ever done, and it's worldwide, right? It's like Bernie Madoff getting everybody into his scam, every single person, right? That's how big of a scam it is, our current financial system. And I know that if you're hearing this, you're thinking, yeah, whatever. If you could truly comprehend that, just like Henry Ford once said, if the American people truly understood our financial system, there'd be a revolution by tomorrow morning. And that would be true if you can conceptually understand how bad it is. You'd be like, no, I got to go kill somebody.
No, it's true. It's true. You know, people think that it's so true. People think that slavery is gone. It's just been informed in a different way. I actually watched that Mike Maloney Hidden Secrets of Money, and that was the day that I switched when I actually just got into Bitcoin. Was what gave me that conviction. Was the understanding of what it's privately owned. What do you mean it's privately owned? Like, what do you mean it's like how? You know, it's such a small little bit of people running the whole entire world. Like it's crazy how that basically is. So at the moment, so I want to jump quickly back. I don't know if you'll finish there, Crypto Kid, if you want to continue that quick, and then I got a few interesting questions to ask you guys.
I have a question for Crypto Kid.
Yes.
If you Google 3 drives pattern, what do you think? You think that matches up?
3 drives pattern. Are you talking about Carl's tilted head and shoulders that he's been mentioning? Let me quickly Google it.
That's one way of looking at it, but
what did you call it?
Look at 3 drives pattern.
Drives. I'm going to share it just now. One time. 3 drives pattern. Let me switch the share. Hold on, and share this tab. Okay. Let's see. What do you think? I think it kind of matches up.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah, it kind of does.
on the weekly, right?
Yep.
But
no, it does.
It
kind of looks like an Elliott wave. It looks like a like a normal Elliott, right? 3 wave up, possibly 2 waves down. The question I have to that though, it does look like that, but how much devastation comes from a pattern like that? Like, I think the question is new lows or higher low, go crazy.
It comes back right to the level that it started, maybe.
I just don't want to admit that it does look like that, even though I know it does look like that. You know,
it's so hard. We don't want to admit it.
I mean, look. I mean, man. Yeah, I guess it does, right? Okay, whatever. And yeah, I guess the target. Let's have a look at the target. I mean, a good level.
If it breaks the trend, it probably is. If it breaks the trend, I think that's the only time that I'll switch.
Look, if it breaks this candle is my only hope, right? This candle right here, this week's candle is my literal only hope. Because where did my brush go? Look, this was a nice reversal candle, right? And look, if there was good volume in the markets, this would have caused a reversal to $31,000. And this is when this wick right over here got every single crypto YouTuber there is. And I was so pumped. It got every trader. Forget about YouTuber. It got everyone.
Every trader. Yeah.
Like it was just a perfect, beautiful bounce. Falling wedge pattern.
Beautiful bounce. Yeah.
And it should have broken to $31,000. But the market, the problem is after FTX, etc., a lot of market makers, they left the space, and it's factual. And because market makers leave the space, we see wicks like this. We see volatility like this. And it doesn't act like a mature market like traditional markets should. So it's just very devastating. And we also had very bullish CPI data. No, sorry, the CPI was bearish. It was pretty bearish, but the previous CPI data was bullish. And that didn't impact the price much either. And more than it should have, in my opinion. Like that should have caused a much larger pump. So I just think, right, the correlation with the stock market has been broken. Bitcoin is not following it clearly. Like we can have a look at the S&P very quickly.
The S&P, this whole year, it's been they haven't really been working at all.
I kind of liked it. Some people say the correlation is good. Some people say it's bad. It's bad when it's see
terrible. That stock market's not healthy, bro. That thing's been going up for the last how many years?
The thing is, right? It's bad when third world countries begin to actually adopt Bitcoin because of their hyperinflationary situation. We saw, rumors that they might begin to incorporate it, like for example, El Salvador, etc. But as soon as that thing broke, as soon as the banks stopped collapsing, we kind of avoided that entire financial collapsing situation. That was good because banks collapsing, hyperinflationary countries, that's good for Bitcoin. But now that the narrative is shifting a little bit, we kind of need that correlation with the S&P. So like we see some movement at least, it doesn't have to be up or it doesn't have to be specifically down. It should be some sort of movement. And we're lacking that, right? And that's losing a lot of mainstream traction. That's losing a lot of people's hopes. And honestly, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. If Bitcoin doesn't see the pump coming towards the 2024 halving, right? If we don't see a push towards $36,000, let's say at least, then I'm going to lose my hope. I'm completely being honest here. Like we should be technically seeing another cycle at the moment, but it's just not happening. So I think everybody's hopes and dreams, all the hopium is tied on to the halving. And if we don't see that massive push, then I don't know what to say. That's my full honest opinion.
You're a young whippersnapper, right? And
come on. Bro.
What's your thoughts on that, Davinci? What's your thoughts on that? Because right now we have two big things in play, and I want to pop the chart down for a sec. Obviously, it's getting really I wouldn't say demotivating, but a lot of money is going fully into Bitcoin, and altcoins are getting absolutely wrecked right now. Is this something you've been through many cycles now? Have you seen this going into a halving and going to a bull that all attraction goes to Bitcoin for a certain period of time? And then it starts to diversify. Are we at that phase of rinsing out the crappy alts, all these sort of things to go into a new cycle? Do you think we're following the same sort of system as what we've done the last 2-3 bull markets?
Yes, we are seeing a bottom indications both in the price action for alt and capitulation in the news, bad news everywhere. And we're going to continue to see bad news being pumped by the mainstream media for a little while. It's sort of like the reverse of the top, right? We were getting a lot of good news at the top, and now we're getting a lot of bad news at the bottom. And so that's where we are with it for the alt season for the altcoins. Now, for Bitcoin, I've been through a lot of different cycles, and this cycle, although the overall the general sense of where it goes, whether it's the patterns are in general the same. No, it's not in every single bear market, but the feeling, the sentiment is the same.
Okay.
That first off, Bitcoin is going to go lower, then it starts to pump, and then it becomes a stable coin. Oh my God, it's not going anywhere. I've had that those same sentiments every single time in every single bear market, and then it starts to pump a little bit. Oh my God, we're in the new bull market, and then everybody's gets excited. They get pulled into a trap. It goes back down, wipes them out, and they feel like this is a waste of time, and they leave the market as this is the bottom. So this is where I get that feeling that we're going to get something like that happening again, where oh my God, the market dumps on everybody in Bitcoin. Whether this does that at a higher level or at this level, it doesn't matter. It's coming, and we'll see that. Oh my God, this was a waste of time. It's never going to go back up to its all-time high. Why did I ever get into this damn crypto thing? That's coming.
That's true. And would you say, and would you say, from the last bulls up, has Bitcoin gone sideways enough? Would you be surprised if it does this for another 6 months, or do you think we're getting to the end? How far do you think in that sideways process we are in, right? Because the last just looking at the stats of the last bull market, that 2019 phase was pretty rough. I looked at it, the 2019, 2018, it was pretty long. We had this little bear rally where Bitcoin came from 3K all the way to 14,000. And then it literally went from June all the way to March, nearly a year. It just went sideways. Do you think the same thing? Because if I look at the two different charts, I'll bring it up again over here quickly. Like this for me looks like huge drop off, little bear rally, depression phase, right? It kind of looks like we're here. Like,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't know.
That's where
You
we
know what I
are.
mean?
That's where we are. I mean,
That,
we are in the same cycle, same situation. We could be, but excuse me. But if you do a Fibonacci retracement from the top, from the bottom to the top, I think you'll see that we're probably going to head up to the 61.8 because Bitcoin loves the 61.8, which is around the 45,000. I
so
think it
yeah,
is.
this
Yeah.
was interesting because yes, if you take it from the last cycle over here, we literally hit 618 perfect
Mm-hmm.
over here, and yes, this one's 48,000.
48,000.
48,000, and then only depression. That's the thing. It's like we're in this middle phase. This depression start now, or maybe there is this run and then depression. And I think that's the confusing thing right now.
Yeah, so that's what I'm looking at happening in the next little while. Could be wrong. We could, because the 38.2 is probably right where we're at right now.
It is.
If you add that to
is.
the,
So I'll add it in over here. So let's put it in 38.2. Just above, actually. It's sitting at the 36,000.
So since we're not there yet, there's a good chance that we could end up there first before we come to the depression phase.
Okay. So what is your firstly, are you guys in any trades right now on Bitcoin? Like, are you in any trades right now? And then I think let's jump into a little bit of altcoins. I want to know if Davinci buying any altcoins. I want to know if you guys are in any altcoins, and people that are getting smashed right now with their altcoins. Like, what the hell do they do? Do they shift into Bitcoin? Do they hold it out? Like, I'd just love to get your guys' thoughts. And I think this maybe started you, Crypto Kid. Are you in any trades personally at the moment? And what are your thoughts on altcoins right now and what to do if someone's down? Like, it kind of feels like you're selling the bottom, right? And you're getting into, yes, maybe you get into Bitcoin, but what is your thoughts on that process?
Yeah, sure. I mean, the only trade that I'm in right now, as I said, I'm a swing trader. So I'm waiting for those 31K and the break of like 27.9, 28,800, those levels to enter a massive trade. But I'm in a very, very small trade that I'm scaling up as a more of a long hedge position, if you want to call it. So it's a very small long trade that I entered like yesterday or the day before, I believe it was. And I'm just scaling that up until if we break the 27,900, which is that massive support line. And that would, of course, confirm a tilted head and shoulders, the 3 drives pattern, etc. Then I flip bearish. And I think Bitcoin could go to, the next major level of support is $25,000. So if that happens, yeah, I will be shorting to that level. If the vice versa happens, we break $31,000.
No, I got a quick question just to stop there quickly. If that plays out, how are we going to make content, guys?
Look, I don't know about Davinci. It's like, hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's the same thing, but it's
day 600 of the bear market. Keep buying the dip, and how do you just keep
this gives you a chance to dollar cost average in an asset that will take over as a global monetary supply in your lifetime. So
yeah, maybe not you guys' lifetime, but for sure mine, hopefully.
Oh, funny.
Oh,
you're funny.
And Crypto Kid, like you were saying, altcoins. What are your thoughts? And I'd love to both want to know if you guys are buying Ethereum for the bull. I definitely want to know
okay. So altcoins. I'm not a huge altcoin fan, I'll be honest. I'm more of a Bitcoin maxi like Davinci. However, of course, altcoins do see more gains compared to Bitcoin. When we enter bull markets, they're more risky, hence rewards increase. Also, the risk increases too. So as an altcoin bag, I like Ethereum because Ethereum tends to follow the trend. I like Matic, Polygon. And look, honestly, none of these major cap projects interest me that much at the moment because, again, they were not able to produce a product that everybody uses at the moment. So that's why I've kind of lost hope on a lot of large cap altcoins, but I'm always interested in new startups, new projects. So if, anything comes about, usually projects don't tend to release during the bear market. They want to, capitalize on the hype during the bull market. So coming into the bull market, I tend to go in altcoins more. I'm more of like a VC. Like I want to see the confirmation of trend before I enter into bigger investments. But, that's my standpoint right now. Honestly, my portfolio is just Bitcoin and cash at the moment. I'll be completely honest, and some smaller startups that I invested in the previous market. So that's what I'll say.
Okay, Davinci, your side. Thoughts on altcoins, ETH, and what are your thoughts on how people should trade? A lot of people got into probably 90% of their money in altcoins and 10% into Bitcoin. And how do they make it right this time? I don't know if they should sell their alts now because
Little
they're
old
so
lady.
low, but
they need the little old lady into out of their alts. Yes, exactly. Basically, when hold your bags, wait for it to double and priced in Bitcoin, and then you sell half, and then you get your Bitcoin bag loaded up that way. And I think that's the best way to do it. And if it doubles again, you sell half again. So that's how I would suggest.
Okay,
most
so
people
every time it
out.
doubles, you sell half and you buy Bitcoin. And doubles,
exactly.
half, sell Bitcoin, and the whole way up. You basically do that.
Exactly,
okay, that's actually that's actually a really good strategy. Okay.
And then it gives you a point to sell and a reason to sell, right? So
Yes.
because you don't know where the top is, right? Don't pretend you do, because you don't. and you get then you have a point to actually execute every single time. Now, my portfolio is littered with all kinds of different alts and stuff. I'm not 100% into Bitcoin. I'm just 100% into well, not 100%, 90% into crypto. And yeah, I like Ethereum. I have a lot of Ethereum. I think maybe my portfolio is a little bit heavily weighted on Ethereum compared to everything else. I mean, it's heavily weighted on Bitcoin, of course, but heavily weighted when it comes to an alt, since Ethereum is an alt, it's heavily weighted, right?
Are you in Ethereum because you believe in it, or do you think you can make more Bitcoin by being in it?
Both. That both of the statements are true.
You believe in Ethereum?
Ethereum, and I believe that it can outperform Bitcoin.
So you're not like 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗧, huh?
Heck, no, I'm not 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗧. No, 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗧. If you try to like force him with a USB key with an altcoin, he'll freaking like vomit. Right? He'll throw it away. So it's just that bad, right? So yeah, no, I'm not 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗧 extreme. I believe in all the different cryptocurrencies. In fact, I'm super bullish now on what's it called, medieval empires. I mean, I've invested in a lot of different.
I heard you and you, Mr. M, and Carl were playing at your place with pizza, medieval empires. That's what I heard. A little birdie told me. Really?
That was awesome. Yes, that was.
Damn.
I set it up before they came, right? Before they messaged me and say they're going to come over and set it up. I had already set it up before they even messaged me, and then when I got the message, I'm like, oh damn, I'm already in, and it's already playing. And I'm like, damn, this is really,
dude, it's addicting,
really
right? I just started playing it too. It's literally addicting. Like, and I'll tell you this, I'm very bullish in play to earns because, like, I remember just like 2-3 years ago, like Fortnite, Clash of Clans. The amount of money I spent on these stupid games, it's literally incomparable.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. So if you create an actually good game on blockchain technology that becomes mainstream, I really do think that is the thing that's going to push everybody to jump into blockchain as a technology. So I'm really bullish on good play to earn projects, and Medieval Empires is also one of my holdings. A really good game, by the way. 100% agree.
Okay. Yeah, guys must send me a login. I want to have a look. I want to have a look. Gut feeling just from you both. Where do you think the next area of Bitcoin is on the top of the cycle? Just area. It doesn't have to be amount. I just want to how big, or what I'm trying to ask you is how big do you think the possible next bull can be? Like looking at the previous ones, 3x on Bitcoin, 5x. We've seen these huge amounts. And like, what is your guys' thoughts this time? Like, do you think we're gonna have a a crazy run, because I don't think altcoins are going to run as much as what we expect in the next bull. To be honest, I think some are, and I think new narratives, but I don't think all the altcoins as a whole is going to do as what we've seen previously. I think Bitcoin's going to powerhouse through, and I do think ETH as well. I think those two. I think the quality, and now people have now gotten to that point where it's repeat, rinse, and repeat the whole time, and I think people are just starting to crave quality over quantity. And I think that's just my personal view on it. How big do you think the cycle can get, Davinci? What do you think, like on your side? Think it's gonna be a big one?
Assuming that the dollar doesn't collapse, right? If they manage this system move further along, we may only get a muted, like maybe a 2x on the from the all-time high for Bitcoin, only because the management that they have put in place for Bitcoin's price action is working extremely well. There's so many different tools that they've put in place to allow for the price to be managed that, yeah, it's almost comparable to gold and silver's price management. This is another reason why I was able to hold into Bitcoin, and not because I was holding to gold and silver, knowing full well that those prices would not, the real price of gold and silver would not be reflected until the end of the financial system. And I feel the same thing. Bitcoin is getting closer and closer to that point. Well, and on top of that, what's giving it a clear indication that we're doing that is because as we continue to mine, there's more Bitcoin than there is new Bitcoin coming out. So the new Bitcoin coming out is not, the supply shock is not that big of a deal anymore, because there's not enough supply coming out to make all that big of a difference. So we might have one more cycle after this one, and then things are just going to be might go into the regular market cycles of 7 years, every 7 years for Bitcoin.
It's just slow down a bit, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't keep having an asset go up,
exactly.
400%, down 70%. Like, when does it start
exactly.
to become a real safer sort of, and
however, but that won't happen until we have a super cycle, right? A super cycle where Bitcoin goes to some god awful price that it'll never see again, never in the rest of your lifetime.
Oh, like a proper blow off, like a one that you'll never see. Oh, really?
Yeah, exactly. It's got to get there first, right? And it can get there with the current under our current financial system, because money is printed out of thin air. So it's easy for it to do that. A lot easier nowadays in today's environment. So we're going to see something like that, where Bitcoin's maybe $10 million, right? Something stupid, right? Something real stupid, and then they'll never come back to that. They'll never have that valuation ever in your life, or at least ever in your lifetime, because of because it was just the crazy hype cycle. Because there's a large number of people right now, only 2% of the population have or hold Bitcoin. Imagine when that changes to like 14%, something just small still.
No, we could be nearly the size of gold. We could be right there.
Yeah, exactly.
The fact that we got so high in the last bull, like it's crazy.
Exactly.
Okay, and Crypto Kid, your side, what do you think? What do you think growth-wise Bitcoin, looking at the previous bull markets to where we're at now? What do you think?
Honestly, I think for us to get back into massive hype, etc., we need something new, because mainstream's already been over it, etc., in the previous market cycles, and we just need something crazy, like, again, as Davinci said, financial systems beginning to collapse, etc., and then there is retraction into Bitcoin. But I think this next cycle, it's not going to be one that's going to be driven from hype, from just getting into make quick money, etc., like the other bull markets, in my opinion. It's not going to be like Robinhood, etc., type cycle. I think it's going to be, if the financial systems collapse, right? If we see more hyperinflation in smaller countries and they begin adopting Bitcoin as their currency, I think it's going to be a much bigger move towards the upside, than the previous cycles, and it's going to reach a price that, like Davinci's saying, that no one would have ever thought of. But I think it's going to be a much different market structure compared to the previous cycles. And in terms of altcoins, I don't think altcoins will follow that massive jump that Bitcoin sees, but I do think that alts will definitely pump along with it. And the final thing that I'll say is, I think the next, in terms of trend-wise, right, we saw when ChatGPT was a cool topic, everything with the name AI start to pump, even in traditional stocks. Metaverse, same deal. So I think the next trend will actually be biotech. And when biotech begins to become a very trendy topic, which I think it will do very soon, I believe that will be the next narrative. And then we'll also see some biotech tokens beginning to pump as well. That's my personal opinion, which I'll put forward before it actually happens. So, but that's my view on the next market structure.
Okay, amazing, guys. Thank you so much, Crypto Kid. Where can everyone find you, bro? What's your Twitter and YouTube? Everything will be below in the description, guys. But where you at? And what do you provide? Just tell the Banter fam,
sure.
what do you bring them?
Yeah, so I do daily technical analysis. I do educational content. I actually dropped a very cool video, What is Bitcoin? Explained by a kid. Even Davinci shared it. I think it was one of my best videos that I ever made, because it's a video that should be played across schools. It's a very simple explanation of what Bitcoin is, and it gives real life examples that I don't think anyone has explained before on YouTube. So you can go over to Crypto Kid. If you just type up Crypto Kid on YouTube, Crypto Kid.com on Twitter, you can follow me there. And I do daily TA, altcoin reviews, breaking news, and of course, educational content.
Amazing. And Davinci, your side, brother?
Yes, well, you can find me at DaVinci_J15 across all social media, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok as well. I'm focused on, educating you guys on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and also showing you how to trade a little bit as well, and going over the news. So my favorite thing to do is the 1 minute with Davinci J15 on Instagram. So check that out. It's pretty cool, short little stories that I make about crypto universe. So yeah.
Amazing, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'd love to do some more shows in the future. So thank you.
Definitely.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you. Ciao. Cool, guys. Thank you, guys. So quickly, update over here. So I'm long on a small sol. Not crazy at the moment, but I do just want to update quickly. So on the market again, let's quickly jump in here on Bitcoin, and let's just give you guys the overview again. Right now, probably expecting Bitcoin to go sideways for a little while longer. I think the big thing with altcoins is they have started breaking some major sort of areas. So if we look at things like Solana, it does look like some possible more downside. It looks like Bitcoin's going to just trend sideways and a bit more downside within a lot of these alts. So looking at Doge, I'm probably expecting before a decent bounce. Maybe there's a short-term bounce now, but I'm still looking at a possibility of another 8 to 9 to 10% down within quite a few altcoins. You can see over here, a lot of them are losing some critical areas. So I think let's give it another day or two. I'm not going to take any major trend or trades today until we have a decent level. I look at Phantom possibly down to 20 cents. If you're not buying for your long term or something like that, I think it's crazy. Put on your long-term hats today and say, okay, where are these levels on the weekly and the monthly charts, and will this make me money in 2 years? And I think that's a big thing to focus on in those times. Is there anything else from Dol over here? Dol, anything else you're seeing there? That went on quite long. What's happening?
Yeah, so look, doing the same as you, just again plotting these areas, looking for potential downside, but possibly short-term, some kind of breather. These things don't always go down in a straight line. So I've got a couple of charts. I'll just show you very quickly, one or two that are in front of me.
Cool. Go for it, bro.
I'm just putting up my...
So I'm looking at like ETH's on support right now. There's a lot. So I think we just need another day or two to see how bad was this altcoin thing. Like, was it just a shakeout on alts, or was it like really like that this is 20-30% down? So I think that's a big thing.
I mean, for me, I don't like to get like ultra bearish on support. We've already had this like massive dump now. Okay. So now if we're looking for shorts, it's not on support. If you're looking for shorts, you're waiting for a little move up, even if it's 1 or 2% on some of these alts. So here's an example. Injective has dropped into the 618. It's dropped into trend. It's looking like, potentially we get a little push up. What happens here, though, we'll need to wait and see. Then we either get that little retest, that double bottom, or we start looking at these lower areas. Then I've got things like GMX, major horizontal support. 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗧, major horizontal support again. CFX, same story. So if these guys are going to lose these levels, it means BTC is very sad. Okay, then we're taking blows here. I mean, CFX is 18%.
Well, to be
down.
honest, I don't know. I don't even know if it's
Loses this
Bitcoin
area.
sad, to be honest. I think it's literally, if dominance goes from here to 53%, Bitcoin can stay where it is right now, and those alts will still come down 20%. And that's the crazy thing.
So
it's this dominance.
So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff, totally, and it won't stop, won't it? It just keeps climbing. So, you know,
right, this is depression. This is altcoin depression phase. This is it. Accumulate dollar cost as much as you can at these levels. This is it. It may be up for another 2-3 months, fine, but like, this is it. There's no doubt about it. Because every time they get somewhere, they get absolutely wrecked. This is it, bro. This is the shakeout phase.
So guys, just be prepared, you know, be prepared for both scenarios. Like, we've got comp dropping down into the 200-day MA, 618 fib, you know, potential reaction here, you know, be prepared for that. Maybe a little bounce, and then you can look for a short at trend. You can look for a short at some horizontal a bit higher. And then we've got this 36 level that's still interesting. You know, it's not out of the equation. A lot can still happen here. Solana, Sheldon's spoken about Solana. Nice little bounce, trend 50-day MA. You know, it's a classic area where we're going to get a reaction or a bounce 1 or 2%, maybe more. But another opportunity, potentially look for shorts. Let it ride up, let it hit some resistance, maybe TP there, and then we can look at lower. The 200-day is still at 21.4. So it could be some more downside, you know, 5-10% to go. Things like Litecoin lost a key area. So for me, Litecoin is telling me it wants to sort of reject there and then come back down. 70, you know, are we buying Litecoin at 70? Is there going to be more pain? That 3 drives pattern there. If that plays out, we're getting funny. Solana at 5.
That's crazy. It's crazy. So for me, like me personally, like I'm just focused fully on long-term buys right now. I'm looking at what's cheap. I'm not buying everything. I'm looking at what's like Phantom. I'm literally busy with it right now, where I'm going to be loading up. And I'm just keeping on that. When it's ever uncomfortable like this and it's this red phase, like I know where we are emotionally. And as long as I keep buying in those emotion phases, we're always going to make a lot of money to the upside. So thank you, Dole. Appreciate it, bro. I think tomorrow we'll go crazy into alts. Let's just give it a little breather and then we can go from there. Amazing, brother. Guys, follow Dole as well below in the description. And I'll see you all later. Again, stay positive. Take a break. If you got smashed yesterday, just take a breather. Take a breather. We'll come back later. Again, don't tire yourself out when the market's choppy. You want to be strong when the market starts to move again. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Much love, Banter fam.